Before we receive our inventory, I want to head over to Items and Services and look real quick at the glass door. When we set up this item, we told QuickBooks that we have one of these on hand and that it is an inventory part. We've just ordered 3 more in video number 3. We did that through our purchase order, and now the items have arrived at the office. We want to update QuickBooks so that this reflects 4. What we're going to do is head back to the home screen, and we're going to move over to Receive Inventory. There is a down arrow here because this can happen one of 2 ways. Your inventory can arrive with a bill, but most of the time the inventory arrives with a packing slip so that you can check and make sure you received what you ordered, and then later the bill comes, or later you pay for it. We're going to use the bottom option so we can receive this without a bill. This is what we call an item receipt. The first thing QuickBooks wants to know is who is your vendor. We ordered these from Perry Windows and Doors. Because there are open purchase orders for Perry Windows and Doors, QuickBooks wants to know if I want to receive against one of these. What that means is that we have a purchase order we have not pulled everything off of, and it wants to know if I want to pull from one of these. Yes, I do. And you can see if you have more than one, it will list them both. You check off the one you'd like to receive against and click OK. What QuickBooks does is pulls the items you ordered onto this Items tab here at the bottom, and you can see that this is not the one where we ordered the 3 doors. I did this because I wanted to show you that if you pull in the wrong purchase order, you can go back under the Main tab and use this option that says Select PO. That way you can uncheck the wrong one, check the right one, or if you want to bring them both in on the same item receipt, you can do that too. I'll go ahead and click OK. And now you can see these are the 3 glass doors that we ordered. Notice that QuickBooks pulls these onto the Items tab. This is important to recognize because anytime you're working on some transaction in QuickBooks that has an Expenses tab and an Items tab, if you put something on the Items tab and it's an inventory part, it will add it to your inventory. A check is a really good example. If the company only sent you 2 of these and one is on back order, then you just change this to 2 and it will remember there's one left. That way you can use it in the future. This little icon right here that you see, if you click on it, it just shows you your item, how many you have on hand, and if you have any on purchase orders that are incoming. That's all that is. You can just close that if you happen to open it up. A couple of buttons at the bottom. Here's where you can clear your quantities. That will just put this back on 0 and you can type in the number you are receiving. If you wanted to change your PO, you change it here. Here's where you're actually going to show the purchase order. Maybe you need to change it or look at it for whatever reason. I'll go ahead and close that. On the right hand side, this is just some summary information about Perry Windows and Doors. You can look and see some of the recent transactions. If you don't want to see this, just hide the history, and that way you can utilize the whole screen. Let's see if there's anything new up here under the Main tab. You should be familiar with most of this at this point. We did talk about selecting PO. Let me mention the Enter Time. We're going to talk about time in a later section. I wanted you to be familiar with this because what it allows you to do is if you are tracking job costing for your customers, then the time you spend working on receiving these items is a billable cost. You can actually track that by choosing this Enter Time here, and then you can put in the start and end date that you're working on this, and then it will track your time. You also can clear the splits. That just clears everything off of both of these tabs, and if you want to recalculate, you could do that. I'll just mention the scan barcodes. This is an added feature for QuickBooks. If you do a lot with inventory, you can work with the barcode scanning software that's available that works with QuickBooks, and then that helps you scan your items. There are some reports back here. All of these have to do with items. We've seen a lot of these before. And then you have your search option where you can search through this item receipt for anything that you happen to be looking for. Once all that's filled out, save and close at the bottom. And now let's go back to our item list and see if we have 4 of these. And here's glass door. And yes, we do. And that's how items are going to be received into QuickBooks. There are other ways, like I mentioned. If you purchase them, make sure that you put that item on the Items tab. Now that you know how to receive your items into inventory, let's go ahead and head over to video number 5, and I'll show you how to handle the bills that come in for those items.